coming up on Mountain News at 6.
I'm Angela Spartman at Pikeville College, where students and fans are celebrating the basketball team's national championship.
A teenager is charged in a double murder that set off a statewide Amber Alert.
I'm Kendall Downing. Today marks the one-year anniversary of the passage of health care reform. But what will come from that law still remains to be seen.
You're watching Eastern and Southern Kentucky's #1 source for news. WYMT Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Hensley. Leading our news tonight at 6, strong and severe thunderstorms are moving across the region. A tornado watch is also in effect for everyone until 9 o'clock tonight, and a tornado warning has just been issued. For the latest on the storms, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Jim?
And we've got the live pinpoint Doppler locked in on the particular cell that's in question. It's down in Pulaski County, sparking this tornado warning just about 10 minutes ago or so. And you can see it looks rather intense, and it's trying to get its grip on the city of Somerset now. It started off as a warning out in western sections of the county, but now it is bearing down on those folks in the city of Somerset. In between there and Science Hill, you can see some pretty intense activity showing up out there this evening, and this will continue for a little while longer because that warning is going to run for until about 6:15 or so. Let me go a little closer for you and let you see exactly how intense it is. So what we're looking at, some rotation inside the storm, which sparked the warning for this area, meaning when you start to see the winds twisting around inside some of these storms, it means a tornado can be possible, and you have to look for some other characteristics, and some of those characteristics did pop up. Now, part of the county is under severe thunderstorm warning, but a big chunk of the county is under the tornado warning up until 6:15. Again, that's mainly for northern sections of Pulaski County, but now it's also getting all the way down into the city of Somerset itself. And then, of course, the rest of the county, or at least the northern sections of it, under a severe thunderstorm warning for good reason up until 6:15 as well. And that also includes the folks over in sections of Rockcastle County, because this storm, again, very intense, moving through that general area of Pulaski County. Let me pull some other data up here for you really quickly and get some of the other information out so you can see who is highlighted within that warned area. Again, you have Science Hill, not specifically Somerset, though they're covered by a severe thunderstorm warning. And I was checking some of the weather cams we have from over in Somerset, and you can already see the skies turning a color of green, which is very indicative of strong thunderstorm, and also a lot of hail present within the cell. So you have Science Hill included in on this. Some of the areas, Dabney, you have Norwood over to Barnesburg, Sugar Hill, Grundy, all of these locations in the path of this storm, possibly producing a tornado down in Pulaski County. And again, as I mentioned, it's just to the north. The actual warning itself of the city of Somerset, obviously a highly populated area, but you notice there that the storm is bearing down on that location just as well as it is anywhere else. Again, this tornado warning runs all the way out until 6:15. I'm going to grab some more information for you, and we'll get back with you if we have any more information here over the next little bit. But right now, tornado warning stands in Pulaski County up until 6:15. Steve?
Jim, thank you very much. Of course, that's just one part of a long line of storms moving into southeastern Kentucky, so obviously the next few hours could be a little interesting around here, so keep it right here for the latest. Well, moving on to a big sports story now. They can now call themselves national champions. The Pikeville College Bears are on their way back to the mountains after winning the NAIA title late last night in dramatic fashion in Kansas City. WYMT's Derek Forrest joins us now with more on how they did it. Derek?
Well, Steve, the Bears watch currently has them outside of Louisville. About 20 minutes ago, they just passed there. But Pikeville College Bears ran the table in the NAIA National Tournament, bringing home their first ever title. The Bears were virtually down in every game of the tournament, but was able to fight back from behind every time. The Bears defeated Mountain State 83-76 in overtime last night and are currently, like I said, on their way back to Pike County. We will have post-game reaction from the Pikeville College Bears later in sports, so you'll want to tune in.
All right, Derek, thank you very much. Well, you can feel the excitement of last night's win in downtown Pikeville. Pikeville College fans are celebrating the national championship, and it's just the beginning. WYMT's Angela Spartman has more from the campus.
Pikeville College students and fans have celebrated the championship all day. Now they're planning a victory party for when the team gets home. the game ended, Pikeville College students took the victory party to campus.
Decorating everybody's offices and windows, trying to let everybody know that we're national champions.
Team spirit.
Almost every window and door on campus honors the team and the NAIA title. Now college president Paul Patton is looking for a place to put the trophy.
Well, it's a great thing to be a national champion in a very tough competition. The guys played tremendous. It was very exciting. We're very proud of them. They'll be
probably absolutely the best feeling in the world, knowing that you came from the bottom all the way and now you're national champions.
Like, so rewarding because they just work so hard to get it.
Alumni and fans all over the country are celebrating.
I talked to my sister in Oregon and my sister in Maryland. They'd watched the game and they're just about as excited about it as we are.
Parades and rallies are planned for the team.
They should feel loved. I mean, we pretty much just tore up the whole school with this stuff.
And so they are ready for the Bears homecoming. Students and fans are planning to meet the team at the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg and then have a caravan from there all the way back to Pikeville College. In Pike County, I'm Angela Sparkman, WYMT 57 Mountain News.
Angela, thank you. That parade is scheduled for tomorrow at 4 in downtown Pikeville. A pep rally and trophy presentation will follow in the Pikeville College gym. Well, Pikeville College officials say the basketball team's success could lead to more students on campus.
Last year, our enrollment grew 40%. We grew more than any other four-year institution in 7 southern states, which was huge, and it appears that we're going to eclipse that record again this year. Just in the last 2 weeks since all this madness has begun, our online applications has increased about 25%. So that is unbelievable. A lot of young folks wanting to be part of something special and something exciting. And of course, with the possibility of becoming a university, that's even more special.
And we hope to have more on the team's return to Eastern Kentucky later tonight at 11 o'clock. Again, they're scheduled to be at the Mountain Arts Center, arrive sometime around 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, and then there will be a caravan over to Pikeville College. The parade and pep rally is tomorrow. Well, we have some breaking weather news. We have to get to Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell. We have another tornado warning. Jim?
It's all for this same cell, but what's happening is it's holding its act together and it's moving off toward the east. So that means some folks in Rockcastle County and Laurel County now under the gun for the potential of a tornado within this strong thunderstorm. Live pinpoint Doppler was still watching it move through Pulaski County as it's pretty much going right along 80 there. You can see as it's working off toward the east, and it's going to continue to do that here over the next couple of hours. So we're going to watch it very closely. But now you see a whole new area highlighted under the gun for tornadic activity. Stretches all the way through central sections of Laurel County there, at least in the western quarter of the county, and then a very small tip, by the way, of Rockcastle County under the gun with this tornado warning. So right now following 80, actually pulling a little off toward the south and east as well is actually how the storm cell is traveling at this moment. So what I'll do for you is I'll lay a storm track out from where the storm's located now, and we'll see who's going to be affected in particular here over the next little bit. So we'll take it over the next 20 minutes, and here's the way it's looking. We're looking at locations like Grade, Acorn School, Billows. You have Bunch, Vox, some of those locations there. Around 9,352 people are under the gun here over the next 20 minutes, as I mentioned. So we'll be watching the storm as it develops and as it moves from Pulaski County into Laurel County. And just been watching, as I mentioned earlier, been watching the weather cam out of Somerset, and it went from sunny and fine right around about 5-10 minutes before 6 o'clock. Now it just looks like a mess down there with all of the heavy duty rain that has passed through. Again, all in association with this strong cell possibly producing a tornado now in southern Kentucky. And you have to remember, this is an area that is notorious for tornadic development in Kentucky. It is Kentucky's very own tornado alley. If the truth be told, has some of the highest numbers of confirmed tornadoes between Pulaski and Rockcastle County of anywhere else in the entire state. So just keep that in mind. That cell is going to be moving off toward the east here, roughly around 50-60 miles per hour, and will be in eastern sections of Pulaski County here within the next few minutes, and then of course off into western sections of Laurel County as we work through the rest of the hour here. So plenty of time left on this tornado warning, and I'll just put up some of that information for you as well so you can see how it is officially running out with the expiration time all the way now up till 6:30 for, again, the western section or the eastern sections of Pulaski County, western sections of Laurel County, and a very small tip of Rockcastle County. I mean, very, very small, probably not even a mile or two, but of course it is crossing over, so naturally they put it under the gun as well. And I'll continue to follow this severe weather situation over the next hour or so, Stephen, and we'll get more information out to you as it becomes available.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. In other news tonight, family members say he just snapped. Tonight, a 15-year-old is accused of killing his legal guardians, then taking off with his 12-year-old girlfriend. Police issued an Amber Alert after the double murder yesterday in Metcalfe County. They later found the children in neighboring Barron County. Investigators say the 15-year-old shot his guardians because they would not let him see his girlfriend.
Family and friends were back at the Edmonton home today of Gary and Barbara Holloway, both found shot to death on Tuesday afternoon.
When I turned in my drive, I heard a woman screaming. And of course, they're always making some kind of noises over our kids and everything. And I thought it odd that a woman would be screaming. I thought maybe somebody might have been in there fussing or carrying on. And in about 30 minutes, I found out that they were shot.
They're really nice people. I loved them to death, and I would never think anything like that would happen.
Police charged a 15-year-old with the murder, one of two juveniles at the center of a statewide Amber Alert on Tuesday. Family members tell us he was also the couple's cousin.
I think he just went crazy. Not like crazy. I think he just done it just because it's a simple fact. He couldn't get his way.
Family members and friends tell us they're still in shock that this even happened. Most recently, that couple became that boy's legal guardian. With his father in prison at the Blackburn Correctional Complex and due to recent problems at school with the 15-year-old boy, the family took him in. He has now been placed in the Adair County Youth Development Center while the community is still in shock.
There is no price you can pay for taking someone's life.
Not your judgment day.
Yeah, you can't pay for that. Their life's over.
In Metcalfe County, Tamara Evans, WYMT Mountain News.
The Commonwealth's attorney and a judge will determine whether the 15-year-old will be charged as an adult. Since he is still charged as a juvenile now, we are not mentioning his name. Police are investigating a shooting in McCreary County. It happened early this morning in the Vanover Ridge area of Parker's Lane. Officials with the Sheriff's Department say 50-year-old Herbert Stevens of Whitley City shot 45-year-old Tim Rose in the torso and also used the weapon to hit 47-year-old Charlotte Wright. Both were treated at Lake Cumberland Hospital. Stevens is charged with assault, robbery, and attempted murder. We'll be right back. 1 year ago today, President Obama signed health care reform into law. WYMT's Kendall Downing tells us how local hospitals could be bracing for major changes.
The provision to cover all Americans doesn't kick in until 2014. Until that time, there's still some confusion as all the issues get worked out. History was made this time last year. Marisa Mills knows all too well.
It was a blessing to get that back, to be able to continue him on our health insurance.
Her college-age son got to stay on her insurance.
We've had to amend our health care insurance plans to allow coverage for children up to 26 years of age.
That's one small part of health care reform, but local hospitals are dealing with a much bigger issue.
One of the vehicles they were going to use to do that was Medicaid.
And they're going to cut the payments from Medicare, and I think ultimately Medicaid is going to fall into that realm to pay for the uninsured.
Hospital officials could have some tough decisions to make in the coming years. If funding is cut to pay for universal health care, there would be consequences.
That will make a lot of difference as to what we can do and whether we'll be able to continue to provide care.
Until that point, there isn't much that can be done since it's hard to plan for a future that's uncertain. The Supreme Court will likely get the final say as they are expected to decide the measure's constitutionality. In the meantime, local hospitals will just have to wait. In Pineville, Kendall Downing, WYMT 57 Mountain News.
Kendall, thank you. Hospital officials say if the law holds up in court, the effects could be drastic. That's because Eastern Kentucky has such a large percentage of Medicare and Medicaid patients. This brings us to our latest web poll. We want to know if your opinion has changed on the health care reform bill since it was signed into law 1 year ago. We'll have the results Friday on First at 4. And up next, we'll have an update on the weather.
And now, Sky Alert weather featuring Pinpoint Doppler, Eastern and Southern Kentucky's most dependable forecast. Sponsored by Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Severe weather breaking out all across southern and eastern Kentucky now. Tornado warnings have been issued out in southern Kentucky. Most of eastern Kentucky now under some type of a warning at this point. The live Pinpoint Doppler radar locked in on the most intense cell so far, the one sparking tornado warnings out in Pulaski County and now into Laurel County. And it's getting ready to cross the border in the most intense section there. You can see it right there in the middle of your screen, that area of pink indicating the possibility of some rotation. And you're also looking at the potential for some rotation and large hail. Those are the two things we're watching out for. With all the activity embedded within this storm, it's going to continue to work off toward the east over the next 15-20 minutes or so as we're watching for it to head into Laurel County. The warning goes till 6:30, and we're going to stay right here with it the entire time with the tornado warning now in Pulaski County, crossing the border over into Laurel County. And that means folks there just south of London, that's at least the track that it looks like it's going to take. Those folks there along Interstate 75 under the gun. So we'll push it out here for you over the next 20 minutes. We'll take a storm track out, or we'll take it out the next 15 minutes to show you exactly who will be affected here. And you're looking at places like Rockcastle Springs, Bunch, Vox. You have Pittsburgh. It's trying to pick up on northern sections of Corbin there, and then you also have Ferriston also included on that. Looking at about 15,000 people within the path of this storm that could be producing a tornado in southern Kentucky. Now, we have not seen any actual confirmed reports on the ground. Doppler radar indicated this, and again, that's when you look for the twisting of the air. So if you are in Laurel County, here's what you need to do. You still have some time. You need to get into a safe location, whether that's a basement, the bottom floor of your house, in the middle of your house, maybe in a hall closet or something. Again, put as many walls between you and the outside world as you possibly can. That's going to be the safest location for you during the next 10 minutes while this storm looks like it could produce a tornado. Again, not seen it, and we have not seen it on the ground. Nothing on the ground confirmed, but what we're looking for here is a confirmation of that, and you can see it here very shortly as it continues its trek off toward the east. Now, while we'll focus back in on this storm in a second, a lot of other things are also going on with some explosive storms out toward the north with severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued. A big chunk of severe thunderstorm warnings issued for this storm coming out of Breathitt County and coming out of Magoffin County, and sometimes you can run into more issues with some of these severe thunderstorms. You can a tornado warning, so just keep that in mind. Some of the very strong winds. You have a severe thunderstorm warning out for Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Knott, Letcher, Magoffin, Perry, and Pike counties. A very small sliver of Perry, but we're under the gun. And this just coming down. Golf ball-sized hail over in Breathitt County, over in Jackson. Golf ball-sized hail. Now think of that. We talked about this yesterday. The big threat would be hail, large hail, and also the possibility of some strong winds and isolated tornadoes. Now we're getting all of that right now. I've seen reports also with a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust out of one of these stronger storms earlier. Now you have the large hail to go along with it. So just think of how big a golf ball is, and imagine that falling from the sky. That is just some really amazing stuff there coming out of this particular cell that you're looking at right around Jackson. That's the same one that possibly, or that did produce golf ball-sized hail a little while ago, around 6:10. It's 6:22 now, and it was around the lakeside area, and the conditions were just very favorable for that type of development today. But again, we're still going to watch this cell down in southern Kentucky, crossing the border now from Pulaski County over into Laurel County. It's the one that sparked the tornado warning. Started out as a severe thunderstorm warning, then noticed a little bit of a notch on it, indicating that there was some circulation involved with this system, and it was just enough, and it had the right readings in order to get the actual tornado warning out. So if you are in those areas, especially Laurel County, it's about to clear out of Pulaski County. If you are there, go ahead and get into a basement or the bottom floor of your home. You do not want to be outside. You do not want to be around windows. If you know somebody that's out at a ball game or whatever it may be, and they've got their cell phone handy, give them a quick phone call, really quick, and say, listen, we've got some bad news coming. It's rolling out of Pulaski County, and it's in the form of severe weather. So let them know so they can get to a safe location as well. With as nice as the weather's been, a lot of folks probably have been out and about. Showers came along over the last little bit, and sometimes it doesn't put you running doesn't put you running fast enough. And here's some of the other locations, some of the roads that we're getting ready to see hit. Line Creek Road, you have Heifer, maybe Heifer Creek Road, no matter the pronunciation down there. Sunnybrook Road. Also under the gun, you have High Moor Road. This is where the storm is going to be traveling. You see 192 there as well, and you see High Top, and there's Cane Creek Road. Again, this is all over the border there once you get into sections of Laurel County. So if you are on any of these roads, get into that safe spot immediately. There's Griffin Branch Road as well. And one more road, there's Willie Green Road. So these are some of the locations that are in the direct path of this severe thunderstorm possibly producing a tornado. And seeing a report out of Eubank there in Pulaski County of nickel-sized hail a little while ago. These are prolific hail makers, especially this time of year. Yes, have some of those lower freezing levels in the atmosphere, so ice can easily start to build up and develop and fall out, as we've already reported to you in Breathitt County with that golf ball-sized hail. And now you have this very monstrous storm that is trying to sweep from Pulaski over into Laurel County, and it's doing a good job there. You see another little roll through. I'm going to switch the radar data around just a little bit, and we're going to I'm going to scan through it just for my own personal satisfaction to see what it's doing throughout the entire storm. Okay, see a little bit of a notch there, still showing up at least on radar. And again, this is pretty far from the radar site, but still seeing at least some of the circulation that indicates that there could be a tornado maybe on the ground or somewhere there in the vicinity. And as the radar continues to update and continues to give us some of the latest information as it sweeps into Laurel County, we'll see exactly what it's going to be doing here and what characteristics will remain. Again, as I mentioned, you've got to watch out for the strong winds outside of a tornado, and you also have that large hail threat, nickel-sized hail. That used to be the severe thunderstorm criteria. It was upgraded a couple of years ago, but they could still do some serious damage, especially if you get in a situation where there is quite a bit of it falling from the sky. And it comes down at a pretty rapid rate, too. You've got to keep that in mind. We're about 5 minutes away from the expiration on this actual warning. Now, will it go down? Is it still showing some characteristics of rotation? It certainly looks like that on some of the information that I've been looking at here. But will it continue on to possibly run into Interstate 75? That's going to be the next targeted area. We all know how traveled that is here from folks from here in Kentucky and all the surrounding states. So a lot of folks traveling through that area. So that'll be the next big spot for it to pass over, because at this moment it looks like it's going to stay south of the city of London as far as where the rotation is located within the thunderstorm. But again, as I mentioned, this is not the only game in town. Numerous other severe thunderstorm warnings are out to the east for Floyd, Magoffin, here in Perry, Knott counties, all of those dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings as well, and some strong ones at that. Anything that can produce golf ball-sized hail, I mean, that's nothing to laugh at or nothing to take lightly, because it can certainly do some damage with those golf balls falling out of the sky at 70, 100 miles per hour, however fast they may be traveling. Again, we'll highlight some of the roads here. There you see, obviously, 192. There's Pleasant View Road, and naturally Interstate 75, the blue line there running through the screen. There's McGill Wyan Road. We have Parker Road, and we'll find you another one here. There's Pine Top Road again. And then, as I mentioned, Interstate 75, and of course, Ferriston, High Top, all of these locations under the gun, with this cell possibly producing a tornado with maybe some rotation still embedded within the storm. And what rotation means, just think of how a tornado rotates. That's what we look for. We look to see how the winds are twisting inside the storm. So the way you see a tornado spin, that's what we look for to see if it's going to have enough impact or a strong enough rotation to where it could very well be on the ground and cause some problems. We'll update that storm track too for you now. We've highlighted roads. Let's highlight some of the communities that will also be involved and give you a bit of a time frame as this storm works off to the east over the next 15 minutes. The warning, as I mentioned, it's about 3 minutes away from expiration. So we've already mentioned High Top. You have Lynn Camp and this is affecting right around 23,000 people. 23,000 people within the path of this storm, according to the estimates here on the computer. So quite a few folks are living in this area where the tornado could be bearing down on right now. No official word yet on what the expiration time is going to be, if we're going to extend this storm or if it's going to continue right on, but some of the characteristics of rotations were showing up just a few minutes ago, and it looks like it has weakened a little bit, but again, that can be deceiving sometimes. You have to say, I've seen them before, look like they're weak and nothing going on, and tornadoes absolutely just come right on out of those, and that happens, and that actually happened last year back in Bell County when we had the tornado pass through Middlesboro, causing all that damage. It didn't even look like a true storm that would even house a tornado. And what they've done is they've gone ahead and they've taken the tornado warning out of the play, at least for the rest of the county. I'll remove the radar so you can see it, stretching all the way through London and across 75 and down through 80. And they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning as an extension of this, as opposed to a tornado warning. That includes Clay, Knox, Laurel, Pulaski, Rockcastle counties. And that runs all the way out until 7 o'clock tonight. But you have to remember, this storm has possibly produced a tornado somewhere between Pulaski and Laurel counties. Now, we haven't seen any confirmed report of anything going on the ground, but possibly producing a tornado, and that means it'll have a history of it, and it could certainly spin up another if you're in Laurel County there, crossing Interstate 75 especially, and you get on out into the eastern sections of the county. Still a possibility of that happening. And you have to also take into account that you're dealing with winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. Straight line winds, we're not talking about a tornado, just plain old straight line winds that could also come blasting through the area as well and cause just as much damage sometimes as those tornadoes can, especially when you compare what kinds of tornadoes we usually get in Kentucky. But right now, as I mentioned earlier, we're in Kentucky's Tornado Alleys, 2 counties that have some of the highest numbers for confirmed tornadoes right there in Pulaski and Laurel counties. But again, severe thunderstorm warning replacing the tornado warning for the rest of Laurel County, and of course it also includes some other areas, and now you see the tornado warning has gone down. So let me give you a very quick recap on other warnings that we have active in the area. I'll take you to the north, where a very intense thunderstorm was also blasting through. That storm there in Breathitt County, where you see off to the east of Jackson, that producing golf ball sized hail. Just again, you just take that in, golf ball sized hail bouncing off of cars, bouncing off of your homes or a person. It's truly, truly dangerous, especially at this rate of speed. A golf ball sized hail ball will fall from the sky. And there you see the other set of warnings runs out to 645, Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Knott, Letcher, McGough, and Perrin Pike, and Wolfe counties. And again, that runs all the way out until 645, and it's just barely a little sliver of Pike County, but nonetheless, everybody in these areas, be in your safe place, whether it be a basement, the bottom floor of your home. Just stay safe here as we head through the next few hours, because we do have a tornado watch that is in effect for everyone in southeastern Kentucky through 9 o'clock. Now, once this line, or the backside of it at least, completely clears the area, we should be in the clear. The only thing that's going to happen after that will be some cooler air will start filtering in. It's going to look a whole lot like wintertime around here, or at least certainly feel that way. So we'll continue to watch it as we go through the rest of the evening. All right, let's check our mountain calendar now. We're talking about a fishing tournament. The Cumberland River Coal Relay for Life team. They'll be putting this on at Car Fork Lake coming up April 9th. For more information, you can dial the number you see there on your screen.
This is WYMT Mountain Sports, sponsored by the Fast Lane Convenience Stores, a convenience store, gas, and more.
6 trips to the NAIA tournament, but sometimes all it takes is one. This was the year for the Pikeville College Bears, and it will be something that will be remembered for a lifetime for players, staff, and all the fans. Jeff Archer has more.
The Pikeville College Bears claimed their first ever NAIA Men's Basketball National Championship last night. The players were ecstatic and barely had words to describe it. We'll let you hear from them in their own words.
Oh man, it's just the greatest feeling in the world. I feel so good that I can share this with my teammates. They're like a second family to me. It's just like 16 brothers at all times. So sharing the legacy with the people that I love.
The support here in Kansas City has just been great. Fans have come out and supported us. People in orange I've never seen in orange before, and it's This is an experience that I and my teammates will never ever forget.
If you were sitting at home watching the game, I mean, you would be very entertained. The game was, I mean, it was scripted very well, back and forth. And like you said, going into overtime, it wouldn't have been any better, but we came out with the win.
Coming from Eastern Kentucky, I mean, that's all you could grow up knowing is basketball. I mean, that's all I've ever done my whole life, and that's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. I mean, you grow up hearing stories about state champions, national champions. You really never think you get that chance, but I got lucky enough to have this chance, and I took the opportunity, and we won it, and I'm so glad.
My mom gonna kill me, but my next tattoo is gonna be the ring on my foot and every teammate's autograph on my foot. That's gonna be my next tattoo, and I assure myself that's what it's gonna be. I want my brothers on my body for life. I love them to death.
Wrapping up 10 days worth of coverage in Kansas City of the Pikeville Bears, Jeff Archer, WYMT 57 Mountain Sports.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. More news for Pikeville. The NAIA announced their postseason awards, and leading the list is Kelly Wells, as he has been named the Coach of the Year, leading Pikeville to a record-setting 30 wins. Pikeville College guard Vance Cooksey was named to the NAIA second team on the year. Cooksey averaged 18.7 points per game, along with 5 assists per game. Well, if you remember back to last year, we told you about a freshman catcher out of Wolfe County. Well, Dylan Creech is back at it again during a doubleheader with Menifee County yesterday. Creech hit 5 home runs in his last 5 at-bats, including 3 solo shots, 1 2-run home run, and in his final at-bat, hit a grand slam. Wolfe County split the doubleheader versus Menifee County. The Kentucky football Cats held their first spring practice of the season, and Coach Joker Phillips was pleased with what he saw. Just like any first practice, though, you take the good with the bad, but in the end, Joker said it was a good start to the season.
I thought our guys gave really good effort. Execution was not always there, and that's understandable. And we're putting in some new things defensively. Offense got a couple new wrinkles, and all the guys were flying around.
You got a lot of people emotion. You know, a lot of people been waiting for this, including me. We showcase a lot of stuff. We just got to get a mix of things. You know, it's a lot of stuff we got to learn, but we're learning it quick, and it's going to be an awesome year.
And Steve, remember Billy Gillespie?
Yes, I do.
Well, today he was officially announced over at Texas Tech as the new Red Raider head basketball coach.
All right, Derek, thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Where do you go when you need to know? Stay informed by using your cell phone. Simply use your cell network to go to WYMT2go.com. News, weather, sports, and so much more. Sponsored by Appalachia. Closed captioning, sponsored by Sykes Enterprises. Real people, real solutions.
Jim, we still have severe storms moving through the region. What's the latest?
We have, of course, active warnings out in southern parts of Kentucky. You have the folks in Laurel County, Knox County, Clay County, all under the gun with the severe thunderstorm warning. And Brenda, if you'll highlight those warnings real quick there, we'll get the information out. And 3 separate reports now, Stephen, coming in of golf ball-sized hail coming in from Breathitt County, Laurel County, and Pulaski County. And that's all out of that same cell. That's all out of that same cell. And you can see what we have going on down there in southern Kentucky with all of those warnings. But anyway, very active night, and we expect at least a few more hours of these storms to sweep through eastern Kentucky.
But no tornado warnings right now as we had earlier. Just a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings.
Nothing active this time, no.
Okay. Jim, thank you very much. That's going to do it for this turned out to be expanded edition of Mountain News at 6. You can always find the latest on WYMTnews.com. Of course, we'll break in with weather bulletins as necessary. Let's join the CBS Evening News now. Good night, everyone.